Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. Let me tell you something you probably never expected to hear. Something you might have never thought of in the way you need to think of it. There's a moment in life when all the hurt, all the pain, all the disrespect that has been heaped upon you by those who didn't know what they were dealing with will come to a head. There's a point where you stop being the victim and you become the reckoning. That moment, that undeniable shift in power, is what they'll never see coming. They will never know that disrespecting you would be the last time they ever heard your voice. And that, my friends, is the most terrifying thing about you. You see, people love to push. They push you with their words, their actions, their dismissive stares, their hurtful assumptions. They think you're weak because they don't see the fire that's building inside you. They think they can break you, but they fail to realize that every push, every insult, every attempt to tear you down only feeds something deeper. The hunger for revenge, the desire to show them just how wrong they were to ever cross you, grows and grows until one day they find out the truth. But it will be too late for them to apologize. It will be too late for them to take it all back. The moment they decide they can treat you like trash is the very moment they sign their own death warrant. Metaphorically, of course. They will never know what hit them. They will never know that you were always the storm they couldn't see coming. They thought they could break you, but they didn't realize they were only shaping you into something stronger, something deadlier, something that cannot be ignored. And one day, when you rise from the ashes, when you stand in front of them with the power of everything they ever did to you, it will be too late for them to beg for mercy. They'll never hear your voice again, because by the time you speak, it won't matter anymore. By the time you speak, they'll already be too far gone. And you'll be a different person. You'll be the embodiment of everything they feared but could never understand. They don't understand you. They never have. But that's the beauty of it. They see you as a target, as something weak to be discarded. But what they don't realize is that you're the one who's been quietly accumulating power. You've been silently watching, listening, absorbing all the slights, all the betrayals, all the moments when you were disregarded, disrespected, and thrown aside. They thought you'd crumble, that you'd break under the weight of their disdain. But what they failed to see is that you were never meant to be bent. You were meant to break them. They've underestimated you at every turn, and you've let them. You've let them believe you were harmless, that you could be dismissed, that you'd remain a shadow in the background. But there's a point, a tipping point, where the quiet becomes deafening, where the silence, the patience, the restraint that you've shown turns into something else, something darker, something far more dangerous. And when you finally make your move, when you finally speak, when you finally show them who you've become, it will be swift, it will be ruthless, and it will be irreversible. They'll be left, standing there, stunned, in disbelief. They'll ask themselves, how did we not see this coming? And the answer is simple. They didn't see it because they never respected you. They thought you were weak, but in their ignorance, they failed to realize that you were quietly, patiently becoming the storm they never wanted to face. And when that storm hits, there will be no shelter, no safe space to hide from the destruction you'll bring. There's something terrifying about a person who's been pushed too far. They don't care about revenge in the way you think they do. They're not interested in petty, childish acts of vengeance. What they want, what they need, is something far more profound. They need to watch you rise. They need to see the consequence of their actions, the full weight of what it means to disrespect someone who knows their worth. They need to realize that your silence, your patience, wasn't weakness. It was strategy. It's the calm before the storm. And when you speak, when you finally break the silence, it will hit them like a freight train. They will know, in that moment, that they've crossed a line they can never uncross. They'll never have the chance to apologize. They'll never have the chance to make amends because the damage will already be done. You'll be gone from their lives, a shadow in the past, and the sound of your voice, the weight of your words, will linger like an echo in their minds forever. They thought they could break you, that they could push you down and watch you crawl. They never knew that their disrespect would be the last time they ever had the chance to hear your voice. And when that realization hits them, it will be too late for them to do anything about it. So, never let them believe for a second that they can disrespect you without consequence. Never let them think that their words, their actions, or their cruelty will go unanswered. Because you, my friend, are not the person they think you are. You're not the one they can walk over, not the one they can discard without a second thought. You are the one who rises. You are the one who survives. You are the one who will have the last word. And when they ask themselves, "How did we not see this coming?" you'll know the answer. It's because they never took the time to understand who you really were. They only saw the surface, the quiet, the patience, the silence. But they never saw the power beneath it. They never saw the fire inside of you. And when you finally ignite it, when you finally let it burn, it will consume everything in its path. That's the power of someone who's been disrespected, someone who's been pushed too far. That's the power of someone who's learned how to hold their peace until the moment comes for them to strike. And when they strike, it's never a moment of rage. It's a moment of reckoning. They'll never see it coming. They'll never know what hit them. But they'll know they made a mistake they can never take back. So take heart, take pride in the strength it takes to hold your tongue, to wait, to bide your time. Because the day will come when your silence will be deafening, your voice will be unstoppable, and your power will be undeniable. That day, my friends, will be the last time they ever disrespect you, and they'll never forget it, not for a second. In the end, they'll wish they had never crossed you, and by then, it won't matter, because you'll be gone, and they'll be left to carry the weight of their ignorance, the consequences of their actions, for the rest of their lives. You see, the greatest revenge is not the one that comes in the form of violence or petty acts of payback. No, the greatest revenge is when you rise so high that they can't reach you anymore. The greatest revenge is when you become the very thing they never expected. Someone who walks away with their dignity intact. Someone who moves on with a strength they could never comprehend. Someone who will never be bothered by their voices again. And that, my friends, is when you'll finally know what real power is. It's the power to rise above, to walk away, to leave them wondering why they ever thought they could disrespect you in the first place. It's the power to let go of the past, to shed their cruelty, and to leave them behind forever. And that is a lesson they will never forget. That is the price they'll pay, and they'll pay it with regret. Because what they failed to understand, what they will never grasp until it's far too late, is that the power to destroy someone doesn't lie in the insults they throw or the actions they take. The power to truly harm someone lies in their ability to resist. Resist responding, resist retaliating, resist giving in to the anger that burns inside of them. The most dangerous person is not the one who strikes first, but the one who knows when to hold their hand back, when to keep their words locked behind a mask of calm. That's the moment when they'll begin to feel it, the pressure building, the fear creeping in. They thought you were just another person they could tear apart, thought you were just another victim who would fold under their attacks. But no, they were wrong, and that mistake will haunt them, It will gnaw at them because deep down, they know they crossed a line, and they know they'll never get a chance to make it right. You've already moved on. You've already left them in the dust. And the worst part is, they'll never even get the satisfaction of knowing they hurt you. You see, when they disrespect you, when they push you to the brink, when they think they can get away with it, they expect some kind of retaliation. They expect you to scream, to shout, to lash out, to give them a reason to feel justified in their treatment of you. They expect the drama, the chaos, the fight. But what happens when you don't give it to them? What happens when you turn the other cheek, but in doing so, you leave them standing there, helpless and exposed, while you walk away with your dignity intact? What happens is that they'll realize, too late, that the battle was never with you. It was with themselves. They disrespected you because they thought you were too small, too insignificant to matter. They thought you were nothing. They thought you were weak, but you weren't. You were just patient. You were just waiting. You were letting them show their true colors. You were letting them hang themselves with their own actions. And when the time came for you to leave them behind, when the moment came for you to sever the connection and cut them off completely, you did so with grace, with power, and with a quiet kind of rage that they could never understand. And now, they are left with nothing. Nothing but the bitter taste of their own foolishness. They will never know what it was like to be in your presence. Never know what it felt like to have the respect you deserved. They will never again be allowed the privilege of your voice, your time, your energy. They will be haunted by the realization that they crossed a line they can never uncross. They will never get to undo what they did to you, and that will be their punishment. But don't mistake this for mercy, my friends. This is not mercy. This is the cold, hard truth. The truth that some people are not meant to be in your life forever. And when they show you who they really are, when they disrespect you in ways that cannot be ignored, when they push you to the edge, it's not about them anymore. It's about you. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to allow anyone to diminish it. It's about knowing that you don't need to lower yourself to their level, that you don't need to prove anything to anyone who doesn't value you. You are the storm, and when you rise, it will be because you've chosen yourself over their toxic presence. There is something absolutely freeing in realizing that you don't have to engage with people who don't deserve your time. There's a certain power in knowing that you can walk away without explanation, without justification, without regret. You can simply decide that enough is enough. You can say to yourself, I am done. This is the last time you will ever disrespect me. You will never have another chance to make me feel small again. And in that moment, when you make that decision, you become unstoppable. They thought they were the ones with the power. They thought they had control over you. But the truth is, they were always powerless in your presence. You were the one who held all the cards, the one who chose to remain calm, the one who chose to wait for the perfect moment to turn the tables. And when that moment comes, when you rise, when you speak, when you take control of the narrative, it will be the last thing they ever expect. They will be left in shock, wondering how they could have ever miscalculated so badly. But don't be mistaken. This isn't about pride. This isn't about arrogance. It's about self-respect. It's about knowing that you are worthy of more than they could ever give you. It's about understanding that the only person you need to answer to is yourself. You don't need their approval, their validation, their acknowledgement. You are whole on your own. And that, my friends, is the power they'll never understand. The moment you choose to walk away, the moment you choose to shut them out of your life completely, they will try to make it about them. They will try to spin the story in their favor. They will try to convince others that you're the one who wronged them, that you're the one who couldn't handle the truth. They will lie, manipulate, and deceive, but it won't matter. because everyone who truly matters will see the truth. They will see you for what you are, a person who knows their worth and refuses to let anyone diminish it. They will see the strength in your silence, the power in your restraint, and they will respect you in ways they never did before. And as for the ones who chose to disrespect you, the ones who thought they could get away with hurting you, they will have to live with their actions. They will have to live with the knowledge that they crossed a line with someone who was not meant to be messed with. And they will regret it every single day, because they will never be able to undo what they did. They will never get the chance to make it right. They will never get to feel the satisfaction of knowing they were able to apologize and heal the rift. And that, my friends, is the greatest form of revenge. Not violence, not confrontation, not petty acts of retaliation. The greatest revenge is living well, living free, and moving forward with your head held high while they stay stuck in the past, trapped by their own mistakes. So the next time someone disrespects you, remember this: you don't have to fight. You don't have to scream. You don't have to stoop to their level. You simply have to rise above. You simply have to let them destroy themselves with their own actions. You simply have to walk away. And when you do, you will be free. You will be stronger, and they will be left behind, regretting the day they ever thought they could disrespect you. In the end, they'll wish they had never crossed you. But by then, it won't matter. You will have already moved on, already found peace, and already risen to a place they could never reach. And that, my friends, is the ultimate power.